Time to start a cult, guys. Time to start a cult. Are you ready? It's been a while. What do I sound like? I just wanted to, because it's time to start a cult. Alright, let's get into the game. Thought my controller died. Just didn't want to turn the fuck on. We're here. I think. Controller. Hold on, I gotta restart it. It didn't recognize my controller anymore. I think it's because it died. Well, turned off whenever I walked away. That's me. Gotta be me. No, that's me. You can be that little guy. I'm gonna turn it down slightly because it's really loud in my headphones. You can be the Praise the Lamb, conduit of great power, or something. It's vibrating the shit out of my controller. Oh, I'm so fucking sad. Why? Are they gonna kill me? Oh, I can move. Okay, I can just move. Can I talk? Oh, he did not like me. That was rude. Why do you demand tribute? You are the lamb. Oh wait, that's Bubby. Sorry. Bubbles, you can't have any tribute. Your guys' name colors are similar and I just looked up. Bubbles is the frog one. Not in the Stream Elements thing on my top monitor, you look similar. I have to kneel to be rage. We gotta sacrifice you. Yo, is that Jabba the Hutt? That sounded like Tempest. Okay. Which one's cute? The frog? The like second to the from the left? I'm pretty sure I have to kill these guys. Yeah, the frog was kind of cute. I'm dead, but I'm still chained. Okay. I don't know. Options are yes or absolutely. Rage pick. Or bubbles. Whoever gets there first. This yes? Oh, rage said absolutely. Yeah, Steve achievement. This is deal with the devil. Is he the devil? It's rage after you feed her curry. Oh shit, I got a sword. Dodge roll. And attack. Okay. Pissed off now, you tried to kill me. Shit, I can break this. Can I break anything else? Gotta be ready for dumb little pickups, even though I don't think there are any. Yeah, it's basically unlimited. Okay. I love him. That's Talon. Grave danger. Oh no, I'm too cute to be in grave danger. He is pretty damn cute. Everything's been cute so far. Yep. Yo, where'd you go? I'm gonna destroy your tent and everything around it because I need to. There's my loot. I got a single coin. Yay. Okay. Noble Garb. Provides no bonuses. Find curses during. What? 1 damage, 1 speed. No followers. Okay. Whoever did the art on this game did a really good job. There's things on the... Okay, so yeah, I was stuck there. Left or right? Or left or north? Top. Let's go left. So far it doesn't look like destroying anything actually does anything, but it is a roguelite, so I feel the need to do that. Just a free chest. And Puddles to splash in. The noise. It's the best. The big fancy door. Follower, maybe? Yes. What's your name, little guy? Rescue you. Is that more of a rescue or a kidnapping? No, I think he goes back to like the base building part. Okay. To the cult. Let's do medium for now. Okay, so that must be how we get into the dungeon. And you don't. Stone. Hey, bud. I have to indoctrinate you. Okay, Rage. Now's your chance. What's his name? I don't know. What's his name? What do you want to name him? Oh, I'm gonna replay one of these alerts to make sure they still work. They do. Patrick. Looks like we get to choose a form. Oh. Patrick can be a pig. So you're not stuck to what they look like. You want him to be a deer? Okay. Do you want him to be a different color? Your interaction part of the stream. Okay. There is no down one. Or you want just this one? It's not really a change. Oh, his antlers change. To the left or the right? Why do you want him to be brown so bad? You like this one or this one? Lighter or darker? Those are your options. Dark, okay. Little horns, a thing on his forehead, or just normal? Bighorn, do you want the thing on his forehead? No symbol. Zealous heals 15% faster. I go with strong constitution for now. Or wait, he has strong constitution. That wasn't an option. Okay. Hey, Patrick, you are going to... You're a rebel. Ah. Makes sense. Another stone, Patrick. What are you doing? Taking forever. What option? Oh, we can't see. Oh, we get to put it wherever we want. Okay. I wish I would have known that earlier. I'm gonna put it like right up towards the top though. That out of the way. Oh, is Patrick gonna build it? Patrick's gonna build it. His little hair looks weird in the back. Oh, I can help. Eat when you give a meal. Hungry recalls top left. Find more food while crusading. Pick routes that pass through foraging locations. It's like a little turnip and berries. Plant farms to grow your own food. Okay. It's gonna take forever. We're not gonna do that right now. Simple meal. Let him go up there and eat. He's hungry. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I restarted the router and the modem today. I'll go find cold and willing recruits. For those who are not willing, convert them by force. Okay. So I can't use my weapon in here. Oh, he puts it in the chest. He pooped! Patrick, get over here. Where is he? Patrick. My dude. You just pooped on the ground. That's what that later. Just gum it a lot. Eventually choose, like, so anchor deep, dark wood. The fuck was that? Spider? Yeah. Honora. And a silk cradle. It's not as bad as Walmart. Oh. Where do you want him to go? It's not like he has a toilet on command. Okay, so I get 3 hearts. New weapon. Well, same weapon, but a smidge more damage. I don't know if I can break the dummies. Entering the lands of the Bishop Leshy, those who do not follow the ways of the old faith will be destroyed. Ah, yeah, you can. Break that too. I thought that was like a magazine for an M16 there for a second. Okay. Bullshit. No, I can just pick up grass. It is. I didn't play any music. Wait. Oh, it's just telling me that's my weapon. gold. That was all gold. Puddle! That's what life's about. Yeah, it's my weapon. Oh, there's a freaking map. I was just ignoring that the entire time. Okay. Grab more food. The one at the top, yeah. I think that just lets me switch between. Yeah, I could pick the berries game, but I can also just attack them. Oh, okay. So what, does it give us like a first couple rooms to just kind of explore and then one to, oh, I can go back. So we can get the other, no, we can't go back. Okay. I am, Bubby. That I am. Well, I'm assuming, or at least right now, I can't grow any more trees in my little area. So it's probably best to grab what I can while I'm in here. Fuck it, squirrel. He gave me a morsel. What? What? Oh, so each one of them has a domain. Okay. Be pissed about it. He's really not very happy that I'm still alive. Now what? New sword. They only give me like +1 damage. But it is what it is. Or +0.1 damage. Who are you? No, I just had to drop it. Wouldn't let me. I mean, I can go back and look probably. Oh, did I miss a thing? Tarot cards. I think 10% chance of gaining health. Back. Oh yeah. Give me a coin. So I can see critical, build a map, poison damage, attack rate, damage is every, okay, so that's like a black heart from Isaac. Increased weapon damage, something about fever, 10% chance of negating damage. Something about fever, double health when healing. There's a shit ton of these cards. Okay. Onward. You like a mini boss? What are you? Eyelash. I mean, Patrick will like fuck a bitch up. Ew. Oh, he's a big one of those bitches. You ain't shit. Wait, do I get to save you? Aww. Poor little guy.
Shalom Bagayana. Shalom Kampayana, Shamala Kampana. Ah. Ah.
Okay. Gold nuggets, wood. Right now it does want me to grab gold. Oh wait, that was different. Shalom Bagaya. So we have to do it like 4 times to get to the boss? Okay. Back, friends. I gotta clean up this poop first. Somebody. Oh, I can't clean it up. Okay. Recruit more followers.
Shalom Kampayana.
Thought we went over this, my dude.
Ah.
You want to see what the indoctrination? I'm gonna do this one. Didn't have a variant. It seems like a thug. Well, fuck you, my dude. Welcome, Doug. Good truth. Need a shrine. You guys got that. Are you just giving me a free guy? Oh my god, he is. Oh, is that a girlfriend for Patrick? Okay, Rage, what is Patrick's girlfriend's name? Is she still paying attention? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. The girlfriend's name is Pete. It's definitely... Okay. What color should Pete be? Zebra yellow. What? From the yellow. Is that what you're going with? Down to right one. Okay. Symbol or scar or nothing. Rage licks them pure.
Ah. Huh?
Collect a vision from your shine. Once you collect enough, you unlock divine inspiration. The followers worshipping, the faster they fill up. As shrine is full, they'll stop worshipping until it is emptied. Oh, okay, so that's like the research. Hold on. Okay. Yes. Praise me, Pete. Can I clean up his poop yet? Yeah, we don't want him to get sick. Or they could die. Oh shit. Poop, vomit, and dead bodies. Oh, they can... I guess it did just say they can die. Okay. Any other poop to worry about currently? Probably not. I cooked some food up. Now they can eat. Guess we gotta do a temple. Let me make farm plots, sleeping bags. We have to build a temple. Here's this. Not the berries, but the. Oh. Making some room. Nobody ate anything yet. I don't need to cook, I need to make a temple. I do want it to be like kind of below this. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. You can't really make it center, can you? Okay, we'll put it there. It's not the center because I can't center it, you bitch. Others descend against and eventually leave. Well, gotta take him to church. Come here, friends. Let's learn the good word. Okay, so this is how you get new abilities, weapons, and curses. Bane weapons. First forward. Meat eggplant pancake. I'm gonna butcher that if I try to say it. Portang talon. I'm probably missing like the inflection that comes from the actual language. Okay. So I don't know any Tagalog. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that. Still gonna take forever. Can I get you guys sleeping bags yet? I'm all just enjoying a good food. I swear to God. Don't you bitch. Doug. Your disappointment as always. Okay. See, I think Porta, and I think of the sandwich from Mexico. Call dibs on the faller after I beat Leshy. Okay. Oh wait, there's another door. That's a big door. Find the commandment stone fragments. Okay. She needs 2 more deer. I don't know if there are. Ooh. The speed is slower, but it hits harder. How much harder? Yeah, it's slower. And the combo can kind of get away from me. Okay. This take too long. But that was quick as shit. I got this stupid... When I came in, I got this axe and it just like doubled the damage. 2.4 versus the 1.3 that I had before. Although it is slower. What? You bring good news, Ratu. I don't know. What the fuck did you do to me, man? Okay. Have a ranged attack now. Oh, so fever is for the curses. Okay. And then I can collect it. Yes. But I don't want to use too much of it. Okay. Yeah, I got a new resource to worry about. I think they were actual enemies that were just like stuck on a thing. First card I saw drop. X is a little wonky to get used to. It's okay. Better be used for all this grass. Oh, it's you again. Draw tarot card. Gain extra. Better chest. Puddle. Okay. Isn't that like a shop? That's a follower. I want the follower, but I also want to know the shop for food. I'm assuming there's a little food under it. Follower? Okay. It's a bunny raid. The worm is hungry. It feeds. Who the fuck are you? Hello, bunny. Let me kidnap you. I can't eat the bunny. Got some meat though. That sends us to the boss room. What? Oh wait, I can still devotion from. I see, I see. Flashy. Ow! Ooh, fuck you. I swear to God. Left or right? I like the axe, but it's so slow. Another card. Take the health just because where we are currently. In the health department. I took too many dumb hits that last time. Oh, you can upgrade that. Interesting. Yeah, the butthole gave me an upgrade. It's a bird. I don't know what happened to him, Haro. Hundreds. Does it matter which one I pick up, or I just need to get... Okay. I need 3 of them. Oh, I picked them all up. Okay. Do you want it named Bubby or Palakiko? Or a Commandment Stone. Commandment Stones were used to clear new doctrines. Okay. Doctrines for your cult to follow. Using your altar in your temple to declare a new doctrine. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, you gotta be fast. Ooh. Another fluffy guy. More berries, or choose a follower form. Gold. Oh, look at me. When you get hurt, it actually reflects on the character. Food for right now. Oh, we got another commandment piece. Ah, you're slow. Okay, we're done here for right now. Back here. My guy he just said yum. He's totally gonna eat me. Okay, Bubbles. We'll still be here. Hopefully. Oh, wait. I feel like the farms would be more useful right off the bat. Farming bundle. Are you finally mining this giant thing? Thanks. Oh, that's cool. No. So I have to run that dungeon 4 times before I can beat the boss. We get to dance around the bonfire. It takes 25 bones. I don't even know how to get bones.
Ah.
I didn't want to do that right now.
Ah.
I could have been getting them this whole time. Why'd you wait till now to tell me? That's cruel and unusual punishment. Oh, we're gonna start a bonfire in here. Okay, let's do the bunny.
Toca la baiana. Ah.
Is that a crab? Yeah, we're doing bunny. One is Osu.
Ah.
I'd like you to worship, please.
Shalamba. Ah.
Does this seem like a good Jackson? I made Osu the bunny. He wanted to name the one. Oh wait, yeah, he did. I gotta wait. You can name the next one. But this one's name will be Bubbles. It will be that blue color. It will be that blue color. I can't do an owl. I don't see if there's like a... That one's a poop. You keep it up, this one's getting named Rage. Can I name it Steven? Did you want to name, or did you want to do this one, Bubby? Sven? You can do Sven. We got Finn so far. And then what color? I didn't beat Leshy. I beat the mini boss before Leshy. I'm just be a walking shit. This one? Hot pink or yellow? We made the bunny hot pink, so I'll go with yellow. And there are no variants. He levels up, and he gets 10 faith immediately after summoning somebody new. Hold that. Is there any more poop around, you little assholes? Grab these berries. Oh. Hi, Doug. I want to make sure you guys have enough to eat. I can't attack anything. I can catch it. Which I guess turns it into meat. Spider meat, spider meat. Can't catch the birds yet. I tried. Hi, Patrick. Oh, okay. That one. Bunny, furry, okay. Patrick, I'm working on it. What do you want? We get to name the cult. Why we listen to them eat in the background. Poop eaters. They don't eat poop. They get sick if they're around poop. Just hear Patrick going. Cult of Bear. Is that what you want, Rich? Spooper's Cult of Bear. I can't do Spooper's Cult of Bear. I can do Cult of Bear though. We're going with B. That's not yours. I can't. Oh, I could have did Spooper Cult of Bear. Not enough. Get over here and praise me. guys want beds or not? God damn it. What is that on the left? A body pit. Yay. You didn't have Patrick coming in your ear. Oh shit, it's a shit. I'll take care of that. There's any other shit around? There you go, pick up the poop rage. There's the poop. I'm gonna hold the button down. I do have to go collect bumps. I gotta make sure these idiots don't die whenever I'm gone, though. This is riveting gameplay. Okay. Enough of that. Let's go collect bones. Is it gonna give me the axe again? Or do I get a sword? Oh, I get a choice. So a quick blade that does about the damage we've been doing, or tentacles. I mean, I should probably just take the tentacles because that's what Rage is gonna ask for. That's what I thought. Oh, never mind. We get both. Tentacles is my special. Yeah, we get some damage up. This would be nice. I know you. That was not expecting that. Oh look, a bone. Let's go left first. Give me damage. This is the... oh wait. 10% chance to deal critical. I attack so fast. Fuck your grass. Hi, Lech. And the rest. Heck it. The frog's name is Hecket. Hecket. I'm gonna say Hecket though. Calamari. Shimura. So that's like the spidery one, I'm guessing. Oh, that's a female? The frog's a girl. How did you... Here. Good to know. They can attack through me. Fuck you. It hurt. I'm gonna have to kill her. I looked at chat. I shouldn't have looked at chat. Take the tentacles, damn it. I'm gonna have to. The butthole! The butthole giveth, the butthole taketh away. Man, he looks so determined to have that flower arch. Or her, since it's Ridge. Finally used for grass. Okay. Oh, and I got like an extra little heart. Cool. Do we want a new follower again? Yes, there was a puddle. I might go wood to see what that symbol means underneath what I assume is a shop or something. Yeah. Can't destroy any of this grass. It's just a tree. You got away. Okay. I guess this is gold for food. Hi. Is that really your first time, chat? Bro, this man fat. It's been like a long time. And also I was trying out the YouTubies, but I came back here just because the features aren't quite up to scratch yet. Commandment Stone Fragment, Follower Form, a Blueprint, or Curse Attack Damage. Also, I can. Kind of, I would say it's more of a like Binding of Isaac, but with like a colony sim built into it. I'm gonna get the commandment stone. Does that cost me any money? Oh, just this cost me money. Yeah, 53. We'll hold on to it for now. That's money for meat, maybe? It's just a straight attack. Yeah, Moonlighter's a good example. Let's figure out what this is. Steal your shit. Are you rebuilding? Nobody said you could do that. You son of a bitch. I don't know if those are landmines, but I'm treating them as such. Feather necklace improves movement speed. I already... wait. I picked up 2 minnows. Oh shit, I did. And a wreath. We gonna dance around the campfire after I beat Lushy's little person. Oh, I got 3 different ways to go. Whoa, 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 whoa. These 2 connect. Go back for that. Oh wait, that was a teleport thing. Let's find out. No, that was an axe. Don't want that. It's to go to the next rooms, I think. Okay. I did just notice that time keeps moving while we're in here. So your peeps could get affected by it. Take that. Hey, Leshy, you dick. See who you're torturing this time. You only go this way. Oh, so that card was literally just a black heart from Isaac. Okay. Damage isn't that much of an increase, and I lose a lot of speed. So, no. I think the greenish one was more of the blue heart, and the one that I have currently is equivalent to a black heart. The grayed out heart, half heart that's up there, I think is the blue heart. Yeah, that was definitely a black heart. I took any red heart damage. Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. So yeah, there's definitely like a blue heart, but it was green, and that one is definitely the black heart. Barbados. Oh, you do that. Okay. Needless damage there. Didn't get hit by that. Got hit by that one. Not that it matters. Oh, this little guy isn't fluffy, but he got a spike head. Come on, bud. Berries, wood. Great berries. This probably doesn't matter. Vision damage. Unless Leshy's door opens this time. This would technically be the... Never mind. Casey, do you want to name a follower? Our internet's been being weird. Like our up... Like, I don't know why. Just realized I was like skipping through shit. Interact with followers to read their thoughts. See how hungry, tired, or sick they are. Oh, that's a doctor. Welcome to the Cult of Bear. You want Patrick? I know we need to farm. States in farming vegetation. Allows followers to water nearby crops. Useful. Okay. Can wait. Casey, would you like to name him? Or Bubbles can? Probably too many letters, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, nope, it works. Oh, need to change what color you want it to be. Okay, you got a variety of colors here. You want purple? The dark purple or the light purple? Or I guess there's like a darkish purplish blue. That one? Okay, we'll do that one. He loses faith when getting ill, and he loses faith when a follower dies. So far, nobody's died. Go pray to me. I need to build you a bed. Actually, let's figure out where we want this. Oh, that's not that big. We're eventually gonna get rid of this, so I'll put this up here. I can't build that yet. I need more stone. I can build more stone. That's all one giant one. Did you guys get all the little ones already? No, we have 6. It's right underneath the faith icon. You're 2 deer, 3 fluffy guys, and a bunny. I mean, if we can make more deer. We can change the variant whenever we get people. I wish one of the stone guys would come up here and help me. I gave us a decent amount. Eat things about the same. Oh wait. can't. Can I move stuff? Maybe that's what this is gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this guy eventually. Way to oh wait, there is. Move the cooking station first. This doesn't appear to have a range on it, so I can go like right there. Probably get 2 of these diamonds knocked out.
Shalom campana, shalom campana.
Pete with like a grassy meal. Grassy squirrel. There you go, Pete, just for you. There you go. They're hungry. Are there any more berries sitting around? I think there were. Oh, there are. You guys start doing that. Wait, I gotta.
Shalom makan apa ya?
You're welcome, Pete. Good night, Pete. I'm going to make food for everybody. That one sucked, I think. Maybe it didn't. And it's got a little bit of Stardew Valley built in. Do have a little watering can. At least now they can be semi-self-sufficient. Apologize if you can hear the dog. Wait, I'm even more surprised that that was your first time speaking, because you've been in here before. You followed me, unless you did it while I wasn't streaming. Yeah, I kind of want to buy the fucking the soundtrack for it now. It's so good. More poops in around.
Shalom baka.
One of mine. Actually, I do want to talk to you. You're a farmer now. I told you to tend to the farms. Or maybe you just default to doing stuff. You want me to read a mind? Well, Patrick thinks that you guys are bad. Do with that information as you will. He also sells some shit. Okay, let's go do the ritual. I don't have an outhouse yet. What are these again? Oh yeah. Double damage. Declare a new doctor in. You guys need to work faster. Really need to do a sermon right now. Hi, Ratu. Hey, Ratu. Everything? Oh, sermon, I forgot they gave me just straight devotion. I'm not gonna kill Patrick. Doesn't make any sense for me to kill people. Where the hell's Patrick? Where are you guys fighting? Patrick? Patrick, shut up. Here's your bitch ass, Patrick. have anything to give as a gift? Oh, okay, that's what that was for. And they give me a reward. Okay. Let's go visit old man's house. Are you gonna die? New research. Down here. Ooh. You bitch.
Whoa, yeah.
Hold on a second.
It's a bad Bonbara.
Touch dice, strip. Okay. This game's got everything. We'll take it. Oh, I can pick. Shit. Didn't realize I could move this. Okay, I know what I'm doing more now, but I still suck. This kind of shit. I still won somehow. Get an extra heart. Okay. I will be right back. else over here? I pick these? Yes. Give me your berries. My people are fucking hungry. Back. Okay, I think we're done here. I'm back, bitches. Fuck off. Gotta pick up 4 poops for Patrick. But I might, oh, it's getting late. I'm gonna have to get off. See if there's any poops around for Patrick. There's a poop. Two poops. Patrick, what do you got? Patrick.
Shalamba Diana. Oh.
Thanks, Patrick. How kind of you. We'll do the body pit. Or we need it. Load up. Come on. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, what did we get? Decorations, shelter, offering statue, tabernacle, prison, put Patrick in, lumberyard, stone mine, missionary. Demonic summoning circle. I like it. Something to keep the birds away. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call it here tonight, guys. Right now I'm still kind of in like a training schedule at my new job, but I should be starting my normal hours on, I guess, Friday. I work kind of like a weird mid-shifty thing. Yeah, I'm ending Rage. But then I'll be able to stay up a little bit later. Normally probably get off work, cook dinner, and then play a game. And then weekends right now are free, so I'll probably do that as well. But everybody, take it easy. It's been a pleasure. Bubbles, do not eat the poop. That's all I ask. Okay. Talk to you later, guys.